Hello everyone, this is my second problem on array reverse. So the reverse in an array means rearranging the elements such that the first element becomes the last and the second element becomes second last, and so on. So the input array 1 2 3 4 5 6 and the output array should be 5 6 2 3 4 1. And the explanation is that the first element 1 moves to the last position and the second element 4 moves to the second last, and so on. So how are we gonna solve this? First of all, we're gonna solve this in a way that is called naive. So we're gonna simply solve this. So we understand the problem statement. Now we're gonna solve this problem right away. So we need to reverse the array without using like a built-in functions like Python's reverse or slicing. We can simply solve it, reverse an array with a reverse function, or slicing with the slicing function. So the reverse function is simple. We take an array 2 4 6 8 and we use the reverse function. This is the inbuilt function. We can use it, or we can slice it like so. I'm going to show you the naive approach. So first we need to create a new array. Create a array rep, suppose rep, and then traverse the original array from the end to the beginning, and then insert each element to the rev, and then finally copy the element from rev back to the original array if needed. So let's code. So first we take a function definition reverse array, and then we take an input a, so now we will calculate the length of the array by length function. And then then we can create an empty array of same size. So how we can make an empty array with the same size? Like simply we use rev, then we take the 0 input. So we take creating a empty array into n. So it creates an empty array with the size of n, the length, what length we get from it. Now we simply run a for loop. For I in range n. So the range, suppose the range is n 6, Suppose the range is assume that 6, then it goes from 0 to it goes like 0 to 5, n is 6. Whereas the iteration will be 6 times 0 to 5. And for I in range n, we will simply, as I said, we'll take rib so we will taking a rib and I. So for I is equal to 0. Suppose we have, I'm writing down the array 1 2 3 4 5. So number of n is 1 2 3 4 5, so 5. So here the I, n is equal to 6 minus 1 minus 0, so it be 5. So a of 5, what is a of 5? This is a of 5. It will be stored in the I, since I is equal to 0, so I 0 index of the rib array will be stored in the rib of I is equal to 0. So the a of 5th position will be stored in the rib 0 position, and the I will be incremented. So 6 minus 1, I is incremented to 1, so 1, so 1, so is it will be 4. So a of 4 will be stored in rib 1 position, okay, and so on. After that, a of 3 will be stored in the rib 3, and then 2, a of 2 and a of 1 will be stored. So the whole list will be stored reversely in the rib I. So simply we can, here what we can do, we can return the rib. Now the driver function. So we take an array 1 2 3 4 5, and then we print the original array. So when we print the original array, now we can write this in this manner. And then we will write the reversed one. So reverse array will be the, we have to call the function. So the function is reverse array, and we put it in the array is put it in this function, and function is called, and the function this add will go there and it will return rev, and the reverse array will be printed. So here the output will be printed as a, first it will print original array, then it will print the reverse array. Let's check it. I haven't saved it, so let me save. So now it will be fine. So here we can see the original array is 1 2 3 4 5 and the reverse array is 4 5 4 3 2 1. So let's check the time complexity. So I'm going to discuss about this function. So this defines the function that named reverse array that takes an array as an input, like list. And the function makes the code reusable. We can call the function for any array, and then the len function gives the total number of the element in the array, and then we store it in the variable n to avoid calculating the length again and again. And finally 0 into n creates a new array, and a array rep field with zeros with the size of n. So with this line it indicates 0 is field. Suppose the n is 5, so there will be 5 0. The array is filled with 0, and this acts as a placeholder where we will store the reversed array. And then the loop runs I is equal to 0 to I is equal to n minus 1, I is equal to 0 to I is equal to n minus 1, and it lets us visit every position in the new array rep. And if the n is 6, I will take values 0 1 2 3 4 5. So this is a key step. Array n minus I minus 1 that picks an element from the original array starting from the end, and we put them in rep of I, filling the rep from the front to back. So we have simulated the code before. Now we will check the time complexity. So we can see the time complexity. This is time complexity O of 1. This is also O of 1. And for the loop, we can see the loop. What will be the time complexity of the array? So for the first for loop, we know the time complexity would be O of n, and this is O of 1. So the whole thing is O of 1 plus O of 1 plus O of 1 plus O of n. So time complexity will be O of n, and the space complexity will be O of n, because we can create an extra array here as a rep. So the space complexity is O of n. So here we can have to work on in future. So our problem is in this code, the space complexity is O of n because we take another array. So right now we will make such that we don't have to create a new array. We will use the swap concept, and we will do the code with a temp version of an array, so that we don't have to use another array and the space complexity becomes O of 1. So make a new function. So as it is, we have to create a function reverse array and then calculate the length. Now we will use a for function. We will use a for function. We are going to take a loop. My bad. We will take a loop, and then we will take a loop. We will run a loop for I in range and divided by 2. It doesn't go like the whole entire n. It will go by the half of the size of n. It will go like. So first of all, we use let's take a temp variable. Okay, so the temp variable, and then we will take a temp and we will store the first I is equal to 0. Here I is equal to 0 and n is equal to what? Suppose n is equal to 1 2 3 4 5. So n is equal to 5, I is equal to 0. So I is equal to 0 in the 0 index. The 1 would be stored in the temp, and then we will use the previous concept, that the array a of I will be stored. No, sorry, my bad. So the next element, what is n? N is equal to 5, and then minus 1 minus I is equal to 0. So 4, a of 4. So in the temp version, I will be 0, and the first element, like I is equal to 0. So the first element 1 is stored in the temp, and then in the a of I, which is a of 4. What is a of 4? A of 4 is 1 2 3 a of 4 is 1 2 3 4 5. So I think I'm confused a little bit. So again, so a of 4, what is a of 4? 0 1 2 3 4 5, the 5. This 5 will be stored in the a of 1, sorry, a of 0, in that position. The 5 would be stored in the a of 0 position, and then the temp, then the temp comes. So then n, what is n? n is 5, 5 minus 1 minus, what is I is 0, so 4, a of 4, a of 4 would be stored, the temp would be stored in the a of 4. So what was in the temp? The temp was, in the temp was 1, a 1 was in the temp, so the 1 will be stored in the, a 1 will be stored in the a of 4 or 4 numbered index. So we gonna do it for once another time, then the I will be incremented in the second round. So I would be 1, so let's write down the list 1 2 3 4 5. So I is equal to, what is the I is equal to 1. Okay, so I is equal to 1, then the temp will store I is equal to 1, so 2 will be stored in the temp, and then a of 3, like 4 will be stored in the a of 1, so the 4 will be stored in the 1 position. So this is the index 0, this is index 1, so in the index 1, and then the 4, the a of 3, like the 4 will be stored, so that the temp, what is the temp? The temp has 2, so the 2 will be stored in the a of 3, like in this position. So here what we have done, so first 1 2 3 4 5, so they swap their position, it becomes 5 2 3 4 1, and then in the second iteration it will go like 5, this will reverse their position to 4 3 2 1. So and then, and this position they don't have to swap, so it has like, what is 1 2 3 4 5, so 5 divided by 2, so we have to make it like 2 times. So we have run this code twice and the array has reversed. So the time complexity is be O of n. Since we are returning a, so in the end the a array will be, we will be getting the 5 4 3 2 1, this list. So we are returning a, so we are not using a extra array, so the space complexity would be O of 1. So here we can see the loop runs n by 2 times, where n is the length of the array, and each iteration performs 3 constant time operation, like that. If it has the n is equal to 6, so O of n, it should be O of n by 2 time complexity, so we can write it O of n, but in the previous one we have to run like O of n, not O of n by 2. So O of n by 2, we have to run this like twice, so it will become like O of n in this case. And the space complexity, we are using only a single temporary variable temp, and no additional array or data structure are created, so the space complexity would be O of 1. So this is the optimized form. of whole let's just run this code. So we're taking an array, we take this, put this array in the function and call the function, and just save it, and Python tr.py. So the original array and the reverse array. Original array is 1 2 3 4 5 and the reverse array is 5 4 3 2 1. Thank you so much.